The legislators stayed away from the State House, but protesters were out in full force. Tea Party members rallied in Indianapolis, calling for the Democrats to return to the state.
A business stopped in the House of Representatives after the Democrats fled to Illinois to stop action on some Republican-backed bills. Those bills are drawing protests of their own from educators and labor unions who are in their fifth day of protesting.
Our sister station, WTHI-TV in Indianapolis, is reporting the Democrats will not return to the State House even on Monday.
Neither Republicans nor Democrats have budged since the stalemate began on Tuesday. Now, walkouts like this one have happened before, but how did they turn out?
News 10's Joe Ostrowski took a look back into Indiana history. Joe, what'd you find out?
Mark Patrice, I spent some time sifting through our archives today. What I found is a pattern of walkouts by both parties. Empty seats in the State House, contentious debate outside. Just the latest in Indiana politics. Except this video is from a walkout in 2005. Before that, there were walkouts in 2001, 1995, and 1991.
Breaking quorum has happened 7 times. 4 times by the Democrats and 3 times by the Republicans.
Those walkouts were sparked by everything from mapping congressional districts to drafting the state budget. But most of those doing the walking never even left the state capitol. To find a group that actually left the state, experts say you'd have to go all the way back to 1925.
Once you do that, you can the bill can die in committee or out on the floor, and so you have to address it maybe later on.
All those political battles eventually ended, and sometimes they ended with a heavy price. In a 1991 walkout by Republicans, Democrats fined the absent representatives $151 for each day they missed. 4 years later, Democrats returned the favor by fining Republicans $105 a day for walking out. That could happen again under a rule called House Rule 36.
Breaking the quorum is not in and of itself something that I think should invoke House Rule 36. But when you leave the state and refuse to come back, that's taking it to the limit.
Whether that happens remains to be seen. If Democrats don't have to pay fines for the walkout, they could have to face a political price instead. My colleague Rondrell Moore checked with voters in the area to see how they felt about the state of state politics. Rondrell?
Yeah, Joe, we've been getting a lot of reaction about this since Democrats left on Tuesday. Most of the people we've heard from say that they're not too happy with the situation, and that's especially because the Democrats have continued to be paid. So we posted a question on our Facebook page. We wanted to know from people what they thought about the walkout and if it could possibly affect their voting choices for the next election. And almost immediately, we got several responses. One person wrote, "It already has." They say they've changed from Democrat to Republican. But another person was in favor of the walkout, saying, "It'll give a reason for me to vote for them. It's nice to see that they're standing up and saying this is wrong." We went around Terre Haute today asking some of the same questions. Here's what people had to say.
They should be back on the job and do what they're being paid for and take care of the citizens of Indiana.
It can vote the young voters, and because they're going to look up to that. They ain't going to want to vote if they just run from it.
Well, I mean, I see it from their side, but at the same time, I think they ought to do their jobs, so I mean...
I'm sure they feel that this is a way to get attention to what they want to accomplish, and I guess that's just one way to do it.
Now, of course, this discussion is far from over, and it's still not known exactly when Democrats will return to the State House. But we still want to hear from you. You can let us know what you think by logging onto our Facebook page and posting your comment there. Reporting live in the newsroom, Rondrell Moore, back to you.
Thanks, Rondrell. And you can make your voice heard to lawmakers in person as well. Tomorrow, local lawmakers in southern Indiana will be hosting a Meet Your Legislator session. It'll take place at Vincennes University in Davis Hall. It begins at 9 a.m. It is not known if Democrats will show at that meeting.